I'm back, and I'm not gonna do the whole a podcast thingy anymore. I'll just start by saying that this is episode 8 of Nat Night La Laura's, and let's begin. Welcome back, everybody. Today's episode is going to be called The Perfect Match, and let me tell you why by telling you another story. It's 7 in the morning on July 8th. It's my mother's birthday. I open my eyes and I see the notifications that the flowers have been delivered. Good, okay, I think. And then I see a message. My heart skips a beat, but it's not from someone I was hoping to hear from. It's a message telling me to call them back. It's a clinic in New York City, and it says that I'm a match. I'm a bone marrow match for a 52-year-old woman with leukemia. A stranger. Somewhere out there is a woman I have never met fighting for her life, and out of everyone on the donors directory, 0.03% they said in the email that followed. My body, my blood, my particular little genetic fingerprint is the one that fits. I could actually save her. I have mixed feelings about it. My head starts spinning, and the person I want to talk to about this is not even here with me anymore. My heart's bleeding. This request shows up, and I was raw before the phone even buzzed. I wait before I call them back. I start thinking about what the odds were that I'd be a match. I sent in my sample to be a donor a year ago. Circumstances were completely different. But I know a friend of mine did it years ago, and she was never called. She was never a match. So I do it, and the following year, I can actually save a life. So let me say, what the fuck? And also, this particular timing, when I'm actually trying to save myself, this happens. So if life isn't random, I don't know what is. So while I'm spiraling, the phone rings and it's the clinic. They ask me if I got the message, I say yes, and they explain all about it. The patient, my role, the methods of extraction, etc. But I'll tell you more later. And as we get to the point where the guy on the phone asks, is there everything that you want to ask? Is everything clear about the two extraction methods? I say yes. I just think I may not be able to do the second one because I don't have anyone who can take care of me for 2 weeks. Even if it's all paid for and you let me have a dear person with me, I don't have anybody. I'm by myself. And I also have a service dog that I need to take care of. The guy on the other side of the phone says that we will talk more about it tomorrow. And when he calls me back, we will talk about it. And meanwhile, I will just have to fill in the info that he will send to me via DocuSign. So I say, okay, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. So I have a little moment of 1,000 bricks hitting me on the head and on the chest. Can't breathe. And then I try to take a deep breath and I go about my day. Feed Ella, take her out, yada yada. And anyway, I was already having anxiety because I had a Holistica session booked. And Holistica is my practice. It's my hands-on work where I offer holistic support like lymphatic drainage, craniosacral, Reiki, but also nutrition and behavioral consultations. And anyway, a girl who'd bought a package months ago had to come. And I couldn't cancel on her again after last month when I was going through another rough patch. So I forced myself to it, hoping the sadness wouldn't influence the session. And then what actually happened was at the end of her session, she stayed a minute and she opened up to me. She told me about her mother and that her mother had a personality disorder, that living with her had been, in her words, a nightmare, and that her mother had died of cancer a few years back. But here's the part that broke me open. She said she feels more connected to her mother now in death than she ever could in life. So I'm standing there nodding, being the calm one, being the healer, listening to her, but also trying to comfort her. And inside, I'm falling to pieces because I'm thinking about someone I care a lot about, someone I would normally tell everything to about how all this made me feel. But I couldn't, and I could feel my soul shatter. The way she told me about her childhood, how it reminded me of a little girl I know who may be going through the same thing, well, then I lost it. I held my tears in while she was still in my apartment, but as soon as she closed the door behind her, agreeing to come again next week until she gets married in September, I sat in silence. And then again, I remembered that I had to call my mom to say happy birthday, to look happy. So I did. Everything was okay at first, then the moment came when I told her and my brother about being the match to save a life. As I get to the point where I'm telling them about the guy who called me and that I told them that I wouldn't have anyone to help me for 2 weeks while I recovered if I did the second method of extraction, I started sobbing. Raw and real here. Sorry, people, I just don't fake it, so I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I've built this whole life mostly on my own. I went across the oceans by myself, and sometimes I am proud of it. But right now, the irony of the whole fucking situation is just swallowing me whole. I spent the afternoon thinking of what I could do to make it work. I messaged the guy a few times offering possible options for my dog, for me, for finding someone who could help in case I had to do the second method. And then I waited for the call the following morning. Then the next morning comes, and the man from the clinic calls. He was kind about it. He said, I'm sorry. And he was sorry for both me and the patient because while they looked at my file, they found that I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and that automatically took me off the list. I didn't say much. I said I was sorry, I thanked him, and then I hung up. And it just came down on me all at once. The whole absurd goddamn irony of it. Because I was the match, the perfect one. I also said yes, and every part of this that was mine to give, I gave in a heartbeat. And the universe still went, no, not you, not this time, not again. Sorry. My mind went straight to the pattern because it's almost like what I'm going through right now. I've been trying so hard, wanting so badly to help, to give, to be the one who shows up and helps, loving and supporting, whether it's someone I know or a stranger with leukemia, and I am simply not allowed to do it. So what's the fucking point of being built to help if I keep on not being allowed to? So let me tell you the actual facts, because I looked into it, and the facts matter. Feelings are real, and you can trust them when you know what you're actually feeling. But when there's some confusion, you need to rely on facts. So being a match for a stranger is genuinely rare. Most people who join the registry never get the call. Not once, not their whole lives. So when they tell you you are the one out of millions, you understand you're being handed something almost no one gets handed. And that was me. As I was saying before, there are two ways to donate, and the common one isn't even surgery. Most donations now are basically a long blood draw. They give you a few days of injections to coax the stem cells out into your bloodstream, and then you sit in a chair for like 8 hours. They take blood from one arm, spin the stem cells out of it, and give the rest back through the other. That's it. No operation, no anesthesia. You can do it anytime and then go home. And it's all paid for. The other way, the surgical one, is where they get the bone marrow from the hip under general anesthesia. And that's the one that needs recovery and the one that I was scared I couldn't manage alone because you can't do anything for 2 weeks after. You need to take care of yourself and have someone close to you. But in the end, it didn't come down to any of that. It came down to, in my case, Ehlers-Danlos, because EDS makes your tissues fragile. It makes anesthesia and surgery and healing risky. So when the registry saw it, they just pulled me. And here's the refrain that took me a full day to reach. They didn't disqualify me because I felt short or because I was scared. They pulled me to protect me. The no wasn't the universe deciding I wasn't worthy to save her. It was a system doing its job to keep I don't want to say fragile, but I'll say it, fragile woman, and one who thinks she's always strong and can do it all, from getting hurt. So I wasn't being discarded again. I was being protected. And I know it's hard to accept and understand, but there's that. It took me a while to get there, but I eventually saw it. And I've decided that I'm going to keep showing up to help, to support, to give, because it's just what makes me me. And losing that would be the real loss in any of this. And whoever is destined to receive will either come back and ask for it, ask for my help, ask for my loving support, or someone else will show up and ask for it. My motto has always been that for anything that happens in your life, there's always a reason, but there's also always a way. Maybe I can't save this woman this time, but maybe something bigger than all of us decided that this is how it had to go. I don't know if it's a matter of, deserving or not deserving. I don't even want to go into details about that. I'll just keep hoping for other things to happen, for the sacred timing. Let's call it that way. I know that at the end of the day, it's not up to me, and I just have to accept that. One real thing before I go is this. Somewhere out there, there's a 52-year-old woman who needed me, and I couldn't help her. But actually, she doesn't really need me specifically. She needs someone like me who is a match. And it might be one of you listening out there. Joining the registry is just a cheek swab. That's the whole commitment to start. You swab the inside of your cheek and you mail it back. And if you're ever called, remember, most likely it's just a blood draw. No surgery, no drama. A few hours in a chair to hand a stranger the rest of their life. So please think about it. Look up the registry in your country. In the US, it's the NMDP, and I'll leave all this information in the post notes. What used to be called Be the Match is the NMDP, but a lot of the world has DKMS, which was my registry of choice. That's who I registered with. In Italy, there's ADMO, ADMO. So just go find yours. Swab your cheek, get on the list, and hopefully you're not going to be pulled off like I did. Please be the match. I'm no longer allowed to be for this. And try to save a life. I'm not sure this is ever going to be heard by anybody. But if it does, just think about what you can do. And I'm just going to leave it at that. From Night Night and Laura's, that's all for now. And if you've got a cheek and a heart, you've got everything it takes to be of help. Okay? Don't sit in the silence. Good night.